Hi there, my name is Dorothy Pang and I offer microneedling in my acupuncture clinic for women looking to have glowier skin. Once again, my name is Dorothy Pang and I offer microneedling in my clinic for women looking to feel more beautiful, more confident, looking for a natural way to look just a little bit better. And today I'm breaking down what microneedling is, how it works, and why people love it. So, what is microneedling? Microneedling is also called collagen induction therapy, and it's a way to get our skin to rejuvenate itself by using tiny micro traumas. Um, it's safe, it's minimally invasive, and it's usually done by hopefully a licensed professional. Um, so you want to see someone with FDA cleared tools and who knows what they're doing and keeps things clean, because that's how you're going to get the best result without unwanted side effects, right? Microneedling, I like to call it, it's not the most flattering way to describe it, but maybe I just think it's accurate. I call microneedling aerating the lawn of the skin. So you know how when you aerate the lawn, you get a machine with some pokey bits and you poke holes in the surface of your lawn. And when you poke surface holes in your lawn, that allows the water to penetrate better and the nutrients to penetrate better, and then you get better growing grass. Microneedling is kind of similar in that when we do microneedling, we are poking really tiny holes in the surface of your skin, but it should be at a very surface level. So you're not going to get a ton of bleeding, not if it's done, I like to do it shallow, so we don't get a lot of bleeding. It's very rare to get any kind of bleeding. We're just putting tiny little micro traumas on the very surface of the skin. And when I say the very surface of the skin, I'm talking half a millimeter. That is, I can't even think of anything that's half a millimeter. It's hard to imagine half a millimeter. It's just so tiny. So if you have a frame of reference, a quarter carat earring, diamond earring is about 4 millimeters across. We're talking about half a millimeter into the surface of the skin. So when we are doing microneedling, we're doing little tiny micro traumas on the surface of the skin. And when we do the micro traumas on the surface of the skin, that does two really important things. The one thing is we get increased surface area for enhanced absorption of any products that you might be applying. So when I do microneedling treatment in my office, I like to follow that up with an application of vegan stem cell, because this is the best time to put something like that on. You're just going to absorb so much more of that product than usual. You don't do anything crazy, because if you have something harsh, you're going to absorb too much of that product. But for something like nutritive, like a vegan stem cell, it's a great time to apply something like that. So that's the first benefit, is that you get enhanced absorption of the products that you're going to apply afterwards. The second benefit that you get, that's arguably more important, is that when we have those micro traumas on the skin, it's a signal for our body to initiate a healing response in answer to that trauma that was caused. So your body senses that, oh, something's happened, I've had a little damage to the surface of my skin, and in response, your body puts out a healing response and heals those micro traumas. And when that happens, is that we get thicker skin. Thicker skin is a good thing. I mean, it doesn't sound so amazing. We don't really think of thicker as better, but if you can think of how much does a sheet wrinkle, a regular bed sheet, versus how much does a comforter wrinkle. So the thin bed sheet wrinkles pretty easily, and it holds onto wrinkles kind of easily. But when you're thinking about a comforter that's nice and thick, it doesn't wrinkle very easily. Even if you fold it, it doesn't retain the wrinkle very easily. So unfortunately, 40s and onwards, the skin starts to get thinner, and that means that it'll show aging more easily. So fine wrinkles will show more easily, and those thicker folds, those kinds of wrinkles, will also show more easily because the skin is thinner. So if you have thicker skin, the fine wrinkles can kind of disappear, and the lines, the fold lines that come from constant motion, can also improve. And that's why thicker skin is better. Unfortunately, as we age, the skin does get thinner, because just like every other organ in our body, our skin doesn't work as well, and that means the cell turnover is slower, the reproduction of the cells is slower, and so the skin thickness is thinner because those things are happening more slowly. However, when you do a microneedling session, then we kind of plump up the skin, because not only are we infusing more stem cells to encourage growth, we're also producing the micro traumas that will then get the skin to heal itself up and afterwards the skin is thicker, and that looks better. So what kind of benefits would one see from microneedling? You're going to see smoothening of fine wrinkles, the lessening of the fold type wrinkles that are deeper. You also get more even texture, so large pores will be less noticeable. And if you have bumpy skin, like some people have acne scarring that leaves the surface of the skin kind of bumpy and rough, the surface texture of the skin can smoothen with microneedling, as well as coloration will be smoother. So if there are like some spots or some scarring that might have been left over from before, with the pigment is uneven, the pigmentation of the skin will also even out with microneedling. You also just get a much more glowy look because the skin acts like it's younger. It's got more nutrients in it because we do put the stem cell and because we're initiating a healing response, which then results in a thicker skin, and that just looks better. So what do you expect in a microneedling session? I can only speak to how I do the microneedling session. So the whole session lasts about an hour from end to end. I like to start with a little picture taking because everyone loves to see it before and after and how their results have changed. That's just for your eyes only. I don't share that without your permission. You relax and we remove any makeup or sunblock that's on because we want clean skin to start with. Then I apply a numbing cream so that there's no discomfort with treatment. The numbing cream does need to soak in and activate for about 20 minutes. So you relax for about 20 minutes and listen to some nice relaxing music in the clinic. And then I return and I wipe off the numbing cream, and then I put on hyaluronic acid before the actual microneedling session starts. And so when I do the microneedling, I use this is basically a pen, right? It's a fancy pen. And we put a new end on for each treatment. So I don't have an end on right now. And we treat the area that you want treated. So there are different areas that you can treat. You can treat the face, you can treat the neck, the décolletage. You could also do tummy. Some people have stretch marks that they want treated. That's also an option. Some people have, let's say, this is a great option for treating the hands because sometimes the back of the hands can look really aged from sun damage, and we can definitely make that skin look plumper and more even. So the back of the hands is another great treatment option. On a kind of different, it's different because it's not necessarily for a better appearance visually, but we can also do microneedling on the scalp for hair that's thinning. It works similarly in that when we do the microtraumas into the hair of the skin of the scalp, the body then sends more resources to the scalp, so we get more of a young response in the scalp than an older response, which is a little slower, has a little less blood flow, and that can encourage and re-encourage hair growth to be like it was earlier in the life. So there's many different areas that are possible for microneedling treatment. What about aftercare? Aftercare is pretty important. We want to stay out of direct sunlight for 24 hours. You want to stay protected from UV light. So you want to use a mineral sunblock for 24 hours at the very least to make sure your skin isn't too exposed to ultraviolet radiation. Your skin's gonna be a little sensitive the night of. It's very safe to get microneedling, but because there's so much surface area, we don't want to be too intense with any products that we apply. So while a vegan stem cell is fine, we maybe want to be gentler with acids and peels and enzymes. We don't want to really do those the night of, but 24 hours later, we should be good to go again. But we want to be gentle that first night after microneedling, and maybe the next morning. I would give it about a day, but the next night you should be good to go back to your regular skin care. I don't know if I do hard scrubbing the next night. It's usually not necessary. Okay, and the most common side effect is just some redness, and the redness will usually clear up by the next morning. Microneedling is really safe, it's minimally invasive, there's very little downtime. I love these things about microneedling. There's just so many benefits and not that many side effects. That's just the kind of medicine that I love, very similar to acupuncture. Who's it for? It's great for most skin types. It's good for people who want results but don't want invasive procedures, don't like side effects, maybe don't want to go under, for anything too major. It's a great choice if you're working on skin texture or aging concerns. And what I really find most rewarding about offering microneedling is that Some of the time, well, I'll just say some of the time, maybe the way we feel about the way we look makes us act differently. Maybe we don't pursue things that we might pursue if we had a little bit more confidence in ourselves. I love how microneedling brings often more confidence to the client, and that enables them to do things that they have maybe always wanted to do and just felt like they couldn't. They were just holding themselves back. Not that I'm saying that's everyone. I mean, some people just want to look a little glowier. I love that too. But oftentimes I hear stories from women who say things like, if only I looked a little bit better, I might pursue dating again. Or if only I looked a little bit better, I would put myself out there more, in whatever way it happens to be. And I just love the idea that something as simple, effective, and safe as microneedling could be empowering them to live a much more full life of a more full expression of their authentic self. I just think that that is an amazing side effect. So if you are curious and you want to book a microneedling session, my scheduling link is in the description below. I absolutely encourage you to give it a try. Like I said, I love it. It's amazing. All right, once again, my name is Dorothy Peng. If you have questions on microneedling or ready to book a session, please let me know. I look forward to seeing you. All right, bye for now.